All right, that's going to take us into our next session, session 4. Note scripts, what and what not to say when talking with asset managers. This is a big thing as you're reaching out. And this is also, if you look at your schedule, here's the thing I want you to think about. How many hours do you have to your note business? If it's less than 10, you're probably not going to be calling asset managers. If it's 10 to 15, you may have a few hours a week to do it. If it's 20 or more, then you're probably going to be contacting banks off some of the list. Otherwise, if you're at 10 hours or less, I would stick to a couple of things. I would spend time on LinkedIn connecting with people and communicating with people that way, sending invites and touching base with asset managers that way. That's an easy thing to do. You can do that at any time. You control that. You may want to increase and send some email campaigns out through MailChimp or your email service provider to do that on a regular basis. All right. Here's the thing. If you don't have time to call banks, it's okay. Just focus on the electronic side of marketing. But you're still going to get a really good bang for your buck and dollar for dollar. So if you are stuck at home, many of us have been for a while, it hasn't been a good time to call because the banks didn't know what the heck to do. But as we get into country opening back up, especially getting into the fourth quarter, you're going to want a dollar for dollars because banks are going to have plenty. It's a matter of it. So you want to put together your basic elevator pitch. All right. And we've got a full set of scripts and things like this in our virtual workshop we'll be calling. You also can sign up for the Note Banks calling bank thing, and we go from there. But here's the thing: what do you have when you finally get a hold of the person who says, "Yes, I'm a special asset manager"? Here's the script. What do you have on your books that you're looking to move? That's great. What do you have you're looking to move? We're looking to buy for our own portfolio. We're looking for something with some hair on it. Okay. Hairier the asset, sometimes the better. That's lingo there for you. Anything with any hair on it? That usually means a much more defaulted note than something that's performing. We're looking to work it out with the homeowners. They ask you what your strategies are. We're looking to work it out, modify it, forbearance agreement, stuff like that. You know, if we've got to foreclose, we've got to foreclose. We're looking for blank in these markets or states. We're looking for non-performing residential or commercial notes in these states. We're looking for residential notes in these markets. As I say, I'm looking to buy in usually the top 30 states and most of your primary and secondary markets. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I don't say this, and this is important, especially when you're dialing for dollars. Don't say I'm looking for notes and REOs. Don't. You got to be specific. Don't waste. You have to trust me on this. Every time I have taught a class, somebody calls me in the next one. I was calling for notes and REOs. And I'm like, why? Well, I like property. That's great. An REO, a bank, when it's taking a property back as an REO, real estate owned, or other real estate owned OREOs, they're just going to list it with a realtor for the most part or a broker and let you deal with that. They're not going to be like a note deal. So never say I'm looking for notes and REOs. Say I'm looking for notes, non-performing notes, your performing notes, or your whole loan trader, okay? Not your REO department, okay? Never, ever, ever, ever say I'm looking to broker or wholesale. Banks have enough brokers. They don't need you to wholesale. That's why we always say we're looking for our own portfolio. I don't give a rat's ass if you are flipping or wholesaling the deal, but don't tell them that. Okay? Don't tell them I'm looking to wholesale. Do you need a broker? No. Pull your head out of your orifices. Okay? You're an investor. You're buying for your own portfolio. Have some cojones and believe that. That's the first thing. And don't sit here. Well, I don't have the plenty partners right now. Okay? You will. If you got a good deal and you market it, and I don't care if you're coming out of a caveman note investor. There are ways to market the deal. Heck, you could post it in the WCN crew and say, hey, I got a deal. I'm looking for a funding partner, and probably able to fund stuff like that. Okay. And don't say, well, I'm just going to wait for the money before I go do any marketing. And I understand some people heard Joel Block from Bullseye Capital last week talking about, well, you need to have a fund in place. Look, if you've not got any experience, a fund isn't going to help you raise any capital if you don't have any experience. So one of the best things you can do is go out, start building some experience, buying a few assets, and then go on the route of going the fund route. You've got great resources at your fingertips to help. Hello, McFly. Anybody there? I'm here to help. Okay. I'm not going to fund your deal, but I'll show you. Hey, market here. Do an email out. Start putting some things in place to help you market. Okay. I wouldn't say I'm looking for anything. That's a big sign that you're a wholesaler broker. Okay. I don't want to say I'm looking for a specific zip code. That's a waste of freaking time. Don't do that. It's okay. Hey, I'm buying in most states, but I really do like this, and this state. That's fine. Okay. I'm only looking for stuff in Phoenix. Only looking for stuff in my backyard. Okay. I'm looking to buy my own portfolio. I buy in about 30 different states. I'm looking at primary, secondary markets. I really do love, Texas and Florida, but I'll look in Ohio and Michigan as well because we have teams up there too. Okay. And you're going to botch this up if you're down for dollars. You're going to screw this up. You're going to get tongue-tied. Look, I still do this. When you're dialing for dollars and you're on hold and you're trying to do two things at once, you're going to screw up. You know what you do then? You just hang up the phone and call them back the next day. Move on to the next one, okay? Don't get stressed out about it. Oh, my God, I got to be perfect. The only way you get perfect at marketing or dialing for dollars is practice, 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 okay? Wesley says, what happens if a lender gives you pricing and it's at par? Would it be worth to try to negotiate? Look, I would simply say, listen, I appreciate that, but that's not going to make sense for us at par. Okay. If it's non-performing, we got to foreclose, then we're in the negative. I don't want to waste your time. I'll follow back up with you in 90 days. So that's what I would do, Wesley, when they want just par. It's not, look, move on. There are plenty of, that's one of the biggest things I want you guys, don't get so locked in on one deal. You know how you negotiate? You follow up in 30 days. Hey, do you still have that asset that you were trying to sell at par? You motivated to sell it now? Oh, nope. Okay. Next month. You follow up with them. And oftentimes the best deals come from us following up. I mean, we've had lenders that send us stuff. They want par or something right at market value. I'm like, nah, if you give them 90 days and follow them back up, often they'll come down on that price because now they're more motivated, especially if it's 90 days later now and they've not moved it. Okay. Don't be picky. Realize there are thousands of lending institutions. Don't have to sit there and just deal with one and try to make squeeze a square peg in a round hole. That just doesn't make any sense. Move on. All right. I mean, if you do what I tell you, and like we did in the previous session, if you just go to Lane Guide and do the REO asset manager search in your top 5 or 10 states, that's 1,000 names on a thing that on a list that you have. If you go to Texas Savings and Mortgage Lending, you'll and export the company roster list. That's 3,000 bankers, banks, and servicing. I mean, there's like 300 servicing companies on there right alone. If you reach out to all the servicing companies, business development guys, boom, hey, you're gonna have plenty to look at, more enough than you can take care of. Okay, so don't. Somebody says par, just move on. Sorry, not interested. Well, I'll follow up with you next month. Okay. All right. Never also say, hey, I got $20 million to buy. All right. Or I'm a buyer's rep, buyer's mandate. Those are the purest signs of a joker broker. Somebody who doesn't have shit. Okay. If you had $20 million, you'd be hiring people to call. You wouldn't be doing it. Okay. Good morning, people. Join us here. PJ, everybody else. All right. Yeah. People, and then somebody tells you, I represent a seller. We got to get in a webinar, get in a conference call. Just move on. All right. Now, here's the best times for those of you guys that are sending emails out. Best time to email, and it's something, this isn't going to be anything long. You guys, we have a couple scripts. We've got a couple sample emails that we've done virtually. You can see a lot of this stuff too. It's pretty simple. Best email, time to email, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't email on Monday. Don't email on Friday. Okay. Especially after 3 o'clock. They're going to be gone for the weekend. All right. Best time to email for asset managers is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Emails between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Okay. First email blast you send out, you'll see about a 10 to 20% open rate the first time around. That's normal along most real estate stuff. 20% is doing really well. Okay. So if I send an email out the first time, I get about a 20% open rate to 80% of the, just 20%. That means 80% haven't opened it. So I follow up with a second email to that list that didn't open it. And I'll see a 5 to 10% open rate on that second email. It's the exact same email. I just resend it to the people that didn't open it the first time. Okay. And I send it usually opposite. So I send it first one on Tuesday morning at 11. I'll send my second email to those that didn't open the first one at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll wait 2 business days and then I'll go back. I'll send another email on Tuesday in the afternoon to the third chunk, and that'll be another 1 to 4% rate. So I'm hoping to get combined about 20 to 30% of my list to open it. Now that's still 70% of those that haven't opened it. But if they open it, the first 20%, that's your call sheet right there. Hey, saw that you opened my email, just following up. Okay. That's the best thing to do. That's the easiest thing to do to get in the habit of talking to people. Okay. And then you can look back. If those contacts are with a lending institution, you can see what kind of default rates they've got. You can see what kind of notes they have over 90 days, or in the non-performing side, non-accrual side, by going to the FDIC list, or if you bought the Bauer Financial list, there you go. Okay. But the thing is, give it time and use something like MailChimp, Constant Contact. Infusionsoft or Keep is a little bit more expensive. Salesforce. Use something that you can actually track your open rates. Don't send it via Gmail. Don't get cheap on me. That's the worst thing you can do. Get you a custom email. Don't say, and make sure your email is not info at or contact us at your entity name. That's the worst email. That goes through spam filters, and that's the first one. Anything info at, it gets erased out. So you always, your name, Scott at, John at, PJ at, whatever it might be at your entity, okay? But the reason we send it out via Infusionsoft or MailChimp is so we can see who actually opened the freaking email. All these email service providers will tell you, okay, you have open rates. If you click on the open rate, usually it'll give you the list of who those that opened up. See that bad emails. You can see opt-outs. That's an important thing. See if they clicked on a link or two, okay? And you really only want to have one, maybe 2 links in your email. And one may be a calendar link for them to schedule an appointment with you, or a link to your LinkedIn profile, because that's where they're going to go to look at. Most of the time goes directly to your LinkedIn profile or to your website, okay? Don't bombard them. Don't ask them to be your friends on social media. I saw a guy who was doing email blasts out for a year, and he complained he never got a phone call. Well, because the reason he had, don't connect on social media at the very top. I'm like, that's the worst thing you could do. Don't do that, okay? But if you're going to call in the email, simply say, hey, I just wanted to reach out to him. I'm Scott Carson with We Close Notes. Just wanted to see if you had anything in your books this quarter you're looking to get rid of. The residential commercial stuff we're buying in the primary and secondary markets in about 30 states. We love these states. We're looking for assets between $100,000 in value and $500,000 in values on the residential side. And then we'll look at the larger commercial assets, but our bread and butter is really in the $1 million or below valuation on the commercial side. The reason we talk about that is the $1 million market on the commercial side. That's where the most expensive assets for the banks are as far as servicing costs. Higher valued assets, those trade usually, the 1 to 5 and above. You guys probably aren't going to be involved with that initially. But the $1 million below on the commercial, and then the $500,000 or below is where you can see on most of the residential stuff. Okay. But hey, here's what I'm looking for. Love to touch base with you. Let's connect. Let's talk. All right. It's the same email I send out pretty much each month. I will change it up a little bit. Oh, hey, it's April, or hey, it's February, or hey, it's June. All right. Keep that in mind. But when you call on the asset managers, always expect to leave a lot of voice messages. It's kind of the same times, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, best time to call, 10 to noon, and then 2 to 5 their time, okay? Expect to leave lots of messages and track it. With a spreadsheet is the easiest thing, or a piece of paper if you ain't got a spreadsheet. Just track it. Know who you left a message to. Know who you need to follow up with, okay? Speak clearly. It's the same thing. Hi, my name is Scott Carson with We Close Notes. I was just calling to see if you're the right person at your bank that handles your distressed debt in your note sales, either your special assets or your whole loan trading. I'm looking to buy non-performing or scratch and dent residential commercial loans for my own portfolio. I'm buying in a variety of states, 30 plus states with primary and secondary markets. We are buying for our own portfolio. We do have a team to help us with the foreclosures or the loan modifications or the reinstatements that we try to work out with the homeowners. I can be reached back directly at this number. Always smile when you're talking to somebody. Even put a sticky up there. If you call and you're in a bad mood, they're not going to want to talk to you. They can tell. Speak clearly. Leave your phone number twice, and your email. Get a simple email too. Don't make it so complicated, hard. Get something to email it everybody can understand. Okay, right. And then there's the ratios here. If you make 50 phone calls, you'll probably talk to 13, 14, 15 people. Probably get 4 leads on lists, and then it'll probably turn into one real deal of some sort. Okay. Patrick said, do you just use a VoIP phone with call tracking capabilities when calling the asset manager or just yourself? Just to sell. KISS. Keep it simple, because if they dial it back, I want it coming from my phone. Okay. You can use a VoIP phone, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's not get into make algebra. You just turn simple math into Chinese algebra. Okay. Yeah, there are call systems you can use. Call rail, other things you can kind of systematize this. One of the great things, we had Bob LaChance on from Riva Global Real Estate VAs. I know Camp, and Bob and I have been working on a lot of things to help set up working with VAs to dial for dollars for you. You need a VA to call banks, follow up with banks, do some of your marketing. Really great thing. I highly encourage you to check it out. Okay. You mean Common Core math? What? Yeah, just keep it simple, buddy. KISS. If you make things complicated, it ain't gonna get done. The more complicated you make it, the less likely it is to get done. Pull a list and just start dialing for dollars. That's what I did for years. Just pull a list and start dialing for dollars, making notes. Get rid of your email. Avoid the distractions. Turn the TV off. Turn your email off. Just start dialing for dollars. You get through calling asset managers. Hopefully we've gotten emails. Then at the end of the day, I send an email. If I've got a name I write down the name or put in my spreadsheet, and then I go over to LinkedIn and I try to find them on LinkedIn, connect with them at the end of the day. So it's a multifaceted approach. I send an email blast out first. Sometimes it's twice. Okay. I'm following with a phone call. That's 3. Okay. Phone call and a voicemail. Always leave a voicemail. Don't just dial and hang up. Well, I called a bunch of numbers, but I didn't leave my voicemail. Who do they know? Suddenly a VSP. Okay. They're going to start understanding exactly. Now they don't. 4th thing is on LinkedIn. Reach out, connect with them that way. Okay. And then follow back up. 5. Left a voice message, just wanted to touch base. Well, hey, I saw the beautiful thing when you send an email blast out, you can see how many times, a lot of times people will open it once or twice. Hey, I sent you a voicemail yesterday, left you a voicemail today, just wanted to touch base with you on LinkedIn. And when you get a multifaceted approach, like a full court press like that, hey, that doesn't take too long to get enough sources. You may find, all it takes is just a couple sources that are sending stuff on a regular basis that nobody else sees, and you'll be living the high life. Okay. We got a video out there, calling asset manager video for you guys to take a watch. It's me dialing for dollars for a couple hours. Well worth it for you guys to take a look and listen to that as well for you. Okay. Questions on this before we hit session 5? Sorry, part 5 of session 1.